Jeff Kahn once again from REMAX Premier Realty in the Greater Villages area. And I have my surprise guest on here today, the broker's wife, but the day-to-day running of the office, Miss Nancy Deichman. And Nancy, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate you being here.
It's my pleasure.
All right, I got a couple questions that we want to go over in the next couple minutes. So what got you into real estate?
What got me into real estate is I lived in Central Florida here in Ocala, and desperation would be the name of the game that got me back into real estate in 1987. My husband had lost a very good job. We loved the city, but there wasn't a lot of great ways to make a living back in 1987. So I decided to pull that license out of the closet and put it to use. And I went cold turkey into real estate in 1987 out of desperation, actually.
Well, sometimes that's the best thing that can happen to you.
It was a fantastic motivator, a very good mixed blessing for sure.
Absolutely. So you've been in the industry for a long time, and what made you and Bob decide to open up your own office?
Well, I had been in real estate back since 87, and it was 1996, and we were growing our business, and my broker at the time says, why don't you just buy me out? So Bob had joined with me in about 2 years before, 1994. We were both going gangbusters in real estate, and my broker just wanted to. We had 13 agents, and we've grown from there.
What's the size of the office now?
We have 7 offices, Jeff, and we've got 185 agents today.
Oh my God.
We just finished our biggest month ever, so we're very excited about our future and the present. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. As you said, you've got a lot more agents now. How do you see the real estate market going right now?
The real estate market is the most incredible market I have seen since I've been in real estate, and I've been around quite a few years. It is hot and heavy. Buyers are everywhere. There's not enough listings to satisfy them, and we are getting multiple offers on properties. And a lot of people don't even realize what their property is really worth right now because it's climbing so fast. I see it's a frenzy. It's actually a frenzy in the market.
So then you would suggest people maybe calling their local REMAX realtor, and maybe see what their house might be worth?
Of course I would. And there's some very good reasons why I would do this, because a lot of people have gotten used to checking online for their values. And Zillow has never been very correct on values, but they used to actually overestimate the values. So Zillow and Realtor.com and Homes.com and the places you would normally go to just do a quick check on your value are more inaccurate than I've ever seen. And they're inaccurate because it's an underestimation of what an owner's home is actually worth, because those data points are all based on past sales, right? And the market's climbing so quickly that those data points aren't keeping up with what's happening. So what's happening is now looking for pendings, but the problem is when they look for the pending, even the appraisers don't know what it actually sold for. Now, Zillow and those other computer programs don't use pendings. They only use solds. So the appraisers are smart enough to look for pendings, but many times the listed price that's in the computer doesn't really show what the property sold for either, because it's
We're having a little bit of a technical problem here.
So Okay.
Come on back.
So And even some realtors who aren't keeping up with it, like a pulse on it on a daily basis, are not understanding the climb in values that we're having right now either. So you really do need a realtor who is on the pulse of it, who's working day to day in the business and knowing what's going on.
Well, one of the nice things I've found on being with REMAX Premier is that every day we get a list of what's new on the market, what's changed on the market. So it's in our email box when we wake up in the morning. So and thank you for that. That's a good service.
You're very welcome. It's the first thing I look at every day too.
And then we can take that, it's so funny because I know that in my years, and I haven't been quite as long as you, but I'm getting close. Um, the neighbors always seem to know more than they really do about what's going on in their market.
That's
And
true.
they're always going to tell the neighbor who's thinking about selling everything that's going on. And usually it's not right.
That's true. There's some what will we call it? Embellishment of the we do. We have a person on staff that stays up all night. We pay him. He stays on staff. He stays up all night pulling the data for us, so that the first thing we see in the morning is how many homes sold yesterday through the MLS and the VLS, how many homes went in pending the day before, and how many came active, and everything. We look at everything about even each section of the villages. He divides it up unbelievably well. Very thorough.
I'm gonna just throw in a question that we didn't talk about
Okay.
before. You mentioned the MLS and the VLS.
Right.
I have somebody coming down to show property next week, and he was told by a VLS, which is the Village Realty System, listing system, their own closed system, that he can show them any property for sale in the market. Well, luckily he was corrected by a friend of mine who knows that there are two different systems here. So for somebody who's coming into the villages, unless you're really concentrating on new construction, you need to make sure you touch base with us first.
Absolutely.
The multiple listing.
Absolutely.
Because it's confusing for an outsider, but it's an important difference that needs to happen. So I wanted to just get your confirmation on that, that you know,
Right.
that is something that is a challenge that other places in the country don't have,
That's
but
true.
that's our system.
That's true. That is
We
true.
live with it.
There are two systems. There's the VLS, which is the developer who does resales, and there's the multiple listing service, which most people are familiar with, that also has agent might be able to show a property with the VLS that's in the NMLS, because the agent would cooperate with them. They can't receive compensation for it, therefore they can't sell it. An MLS agent would have to sell that one. Yeah.
Right. So if somebody says to you, I can do it all, no one but you know who can do it all. So we have to make sure that they understand exactly what we're talking about. And I apologize once again, we're going in and out a little bit, and we, you know, Nancy's in another part of the world. Actually, where are you, in Ocala?
I am this afternoon. I was in the villages this morning. Yes.
By the way, for those who don't know, Ocala is the horse capital of the country. Okay. I never knew that before I came up here, but you go up there and, well, that's a whole nother video, which we're going to go. And Nancy, by the way, made a phenomenal video on the different sections that we serve. So that'll be on our website very soon.
Right.
Okay. I guess I have another question. Since you have offices in multi-locations, Ocala, Mount Dora, which is a beautiful little town and area, the villages, actually we have 3 in the villages area.
We do.
Do you see any
3
differences
offices
and
here,
trends between the offices?
You know, I see differences and I see similarities. If I can address the similarities first, all of these markets are tremendously hot. The inventory is low, but that doesn't mean that a buyer can't find a home, because it just goes fast. You know, we're selling more homes than ever, and you would think we wouldn't be, because the inventory is low, but what happens is it comes on the market and goes off the market very quickly. In the Central Florida area is tremendously hot. So that would be the similarity. The difference is different buyers. We have different buyers for Mount Dora than we do the villages. In Ocala, we have more of a jobs market. So you have a horse market. That's one area. We have beautiful gentleman farms and huge horse farms, but you also have you have a retirement section. In villages, of course, it's mostly 55 plus, although there are some younger people there. And then you have a tremendous service area for jobs, you know, for living on the perimeters of the villages. And so there's differences there. We have large box employers in Ocala now. We have Amazon coming in. We have Chewy. We have all kinds of FedEx, all kinds of big box places for employment. And then in the villages, we have retirees. The houses are more expensive in the villages than outside the villages because you're buying the lifestyle more. So you get less for your dollar, but you get more amenities than any place I've ever seen inside the villages. I mean, it's just a great lifestyle. And of course, golf cart access to almost everything, which is a unique in the villages. And then in Mount Dora, it's more of a bedroom community of Orlando. People work in Orlando, in precious little town. And it's also part of the Golden Triangle, Tavares, Eustis, and Mount Dora. It's all there together. And it's a beautiful place to visit. And it's a really unique place to live. And Airbnbs are very, very hot in Mount Dora. I mean, it's amazing, the Airbnb business in Mount Dora, because people love to come to the different festivities in Mount Dora.
That's really interesting. One of the things
So
that
very different.
yeah, you mentioned we're going in and out for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, internet's supposed to be wonderful. You mentioned the box companies. I know that you also mentioned Chewy. Since you and I are both dog lovers, I wanted to bring up, some people had asked, you know, the Villages is a very dog friendly community.
It is.
We have
yes.
lots of dog parks. The new sections are building new dog parks. So, I mean, I'm too old to worry about my kids, but I will take care of my dog till the day I die. So yes, Chewy's manufacturer, you know, there's their warehouses right up the road from in between Ocala and the Villages. And
right.
It's a great thing. Well, we've already gone over the different property systems, but I wanted to just take a minute for you to share with my viewers what you want to say about the real estate in this area. We know it's hot. Now, there is the expectation that they're saying it can't stay hot for too long, and that we're in a cycle. Real estate has always been in a cycle. But how do you feel? Is there anything that you, from the nuts and bolts side of the business, anything that you want people to know about what they should do now?
Well, if what I think people should do now is do the move that they would want to do anyway and not wait for the market to change. Because if they wait for the market to get lower, it's not expected to do that through at least the entire year of next year. So I would say buy the house you want. And, you know, and if you're going to finance it, get the interest rate of your dreams as well as the house of your dreams, you know, because you can do that right now. We don't know that the interest rates are going to stay down forever. We know they're not because they're historically low. But NAR says that the three most reasons people are buying or selling right now is they're buying up. They're actually buying more home is the number one reason, because if they stay home more, COVID created that for us. They enjoy their homes more, so they want more home. That's the number one reason. The number one reason people might be selling now is they want to cash out that equity that they've gained in their home while it's there, and it's there now. It's there. It's higher than you think. Most people are underestimating the value of their home right now by a sizable amount because they don't understand Central Florida, or they're downsizing. That's the third. Those are the third most reasons people are buying and selling right now, according to the National Association of Realtors. So some people are cashing out that big house and getting the smaller house that they want to live in for the rest of their days. So those are the top three reasons people are buying and selling right now.
You know, right before we leave, I wanted to just add one thing that I know that I have always told buyers: get the house you want now. Don't worry about 5 years down the road, resale. Don't worry about, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? You're living in the house. Buy the house you want to live in. Don't worry about what's going on. In 10 years, houses may be in the moon. You don't know. But you're living in it now. So buy what you want now. I want to thank
That's right.
my
There's
boss,
never been
my
a better
good
time.
friend, for joining me. And now you see why I love REMAX Premier so much. Thank you so much, Nancy, for being
Thank
with
you,
us.
Jeff.
And have a great Village Ocala Mount Dora day.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.